If you're listening to this, make sure you are not driving, operating dangerous machinery, flying aeroplanes, that kind of thing. If you are, pause and do it another time. Because we're going to get relaxed, which is something we all have the ability to do. Remember, we have probably experienced most states that are possible to experience. Most are on the call of being angry, but you've also probably at some point been calm. You've probably been excited, you've probably been bored, you've probably been focused, you've probably been demotivated. So you already have had experience of relaxation and deep, deep relaxation, which is what we're going to do now. You just need to remind yourself. So it's not so much learning, it's reconnecting. So take a few moments to get yourself relaxed, snuggle down in the chair, snuggle your cat, whatever you guys are doing, and just listen to the sound of my voice. Those of you who already have learnt how to relax with me before will notice how my voice starts to change, how it starts to slow down. And maybe you'll be aware of that, or the space in between my words, as you allow yourself to drift gently back in time, all the way back to a time that for you is a deeply, deeply, deeply relaxing time. And I don't know, out of all the hundreds and thousands of moments in your life that you've experienced, that you've chosen, it may be something that you think about often, or something that you haven't thought about for a while. But as you do, I'd like you to just drift to that place where it just feels calm, relaxing, gentle, and enjoyable. And as you do, become more aware of the feelings of calm that flow through you. And I'd like you to imagine, as you do, that you are a water drop in this waterfall you can see behind me. Just drifting gently down through the beautiful, fresh, clear air, and landing gently, joining the water below. Cool, calm. And as the water gently, softly flows away, follow that water drop in your mind. Does it flow this way around the logs? Does it rest on the rocks before slipping back into the water? Does it go over there where the sun is dappling the water, warming it ever so gently? And as it leaves, follow it, leaving behind the pool and flowing out. And it comes further down the journey to an interesting part of the river where it could flow this way. And as you look, you can see the water down that way is turbulent. It's white and frothy, twists and turns. Maybe you just like to float up and look beneath your feet, down there. You can see the frothing river. You can see how the trees have been bent by the water and its passage. How some of the stumps of the trees are broken. The logs have fallen. And you can look at the other side, the other channel, where the water just seems to flow in a more gentle, peaceful way. And further on down you can see that both water courses rejoin eventually. But the water drops in one have had a much more enjoyable, comfortable journey. And as you look, you might ask yourself, some interesting questions and be intrigued as to what you learn as you float higher. The river becomes smaller and smaller below you. And you can notice there are many rivers, some wide enough to carry boats carrying precious cargo, some that used to be busy waterways but now, as a result of changes the way the water's flowed over the years, they've become trickles or dry old riverbeds, always remodeling. And the more the water flows through the larger channels, the wider and more travel and traffic they become. That's just natural. A long, long time ago, they used to take cattle to market. And they used to do it regularly, year in, year out, month after month. It took a while to collect the cows together and then to herd them down the little windy lanes between the fields. And as the oxen and cows wandered through, they trampled the grass, they ate the hedges, and those pathways become, over the years, well worn, deeply furrowed by the cows' hooves. But of course, as the cows pass, they leave a little gift behind as a result of eating all the goodness on the way. But because the cows come this way all the time, the pathway is kept clear by the munching, the travelling of the feet and the hooves. And one day, something happens. A road is built, which works better for the carts and eventually the lorries, trucks, that need to get from the farms to the towns. The route's more direct. It's easier and faster. So the cows, the cow herders, don't travel along the old routes anymore. But the years and years of fertilization provide the most abundant soil, that if you were to return to one of those old routes, long abandoned, it'd be very, very difficult to see it. The verdant, green overgrowth that's reclaimed the land makes it almost impossible to remember where it was, because it seems to be just part of the blank canvas of the landscape once again. And with time, as man invents new ways to travel, maybe that don't involve wheels, we fly in our hover cars, our jetpacks, or balloons. The roads will be reclaimed too. First, the tiny little weeds find their way through the cracks in the tarmac, and now there's no wheels to squash them. Before you know it, their movement breaks that apparently solid, hard substance to tiny pieces as it too reclaims the area that once was just land too. And so, as you allow yourself to learn what you need, letting that go through your whole body, from your feet, toe, knee, your hips, to your heart, connecting with what it feels like in a new kind of way that surprises you, that you can be this new way, a new kind of approach, one that considers others as well as yourself. recognizing that we are all children of our past. But just like being children of our parents, who informed us and taught us some things that were correct and some things that maybe needed additional things to make them more accurate, we can step away and let go of those elements of our past that don't help us create the future that we want to write and we want to read about in the future. As we look back now, looking back to now from the future, noticing this transition moment in our lives where we saw things differently and we decided to take a different path. And so when you're ready, you can allow yourself to bring yourself back, letting the gentle sound, the water coming from the rain that flows throughout the whole world, bringing yourself back to now, complete and renewed in your own time. And so, making sure that you've all returned with a new understanding of how you can be calm, do have that capacity. We shall end now with you recognizing there is even more, that you are enough, and there is even more.